Welcome to Episode 7. A Second Shot. Written by SoK Padua. Inside the private room of the taproom, Aya's training intensified as the tournament approached. Her patience was also being tested, especially whenever Alex spoke before thinking. "Look, I'm sorry. Sometimes I can't help but say things I regret. Please trust me. I didn't mean it," Alex said, trying to calm Aya down. "I sank the ball, didn't I?" Aya huffed, chalking her cue. "I prepared the shot properly and picked the next one I wanted to take. Even if it's not the best choice according to you," Alex sighed. "Please trust me, long-range shots are exciting, but they aren't always necessary. If we just want to win, we should play it safe." Aya narrowed her eyes. "So you think I'm trying to be a crowd pleaser? I'm not that good, Alex." Alex rubbed the back of his neck, struggling for the right words. Instead, he simply leaned his forehead onto her shoulder. Aya stiffened, feeling her face heat up, but she didn't push him away. "I don't know what words to use anymore," Alex murmured, sounding completely defeated. Aya sighed, her irritation fading slightly. "Till when is that arm going to heal?" "Mostly 6 months to a year," he answered. Before he could say anything else, the door suddenly swung open. Geneva and Terence stood frozen, their eyes wide in shock. "Oh, sorry," Geneva said, her voice dragging as she slowly backed out. "We didn't mean to interrupt." She pulled the door half closed, but at the last second, peeked through the gap again, her eyes flickering between Aya and Alex. The longer she stared, the redder they both got. Finally, Geneva shut the door. Silence. "That was awkward," Alex muttered. Aya giggled. "Then move. You've overstayed your welcome on my shoulder." Aya opened the door again, letting Geneva and Terence back in. As they stepped inside, Terence gave Alex a knowing smirk, clearly teasing him. "The tournament's in 2 weeks," Geneva announced, crossing her arms. "And from what we've seen, Alex is keeping you on track. Terence and I are taking a quick trip, but we'll be back before it starts. You better be ready by then, alright?" Aya, sipping from a glass of juice, raised an eyebrow. "Enjoy your trip." "Thanks," Geneva replied with a grin, then turned to Alex. "Stay out of trouble while we're gone. And make sure she's tournament ready." Alex chuckled. Yeah, I got it." Geneva and Terence exchanged one last look before gathering their things. The group lingered in the room for a while, chatting and enjoying the night. Geneva teased Aya about her long shots, Terence cracked jokes about Alex's intense training, and for the first time in a while, the atmosphere felt light-hearted. As the night winded down, they all stepped outside into the cold Toronto air. "See you both soon," Geneva called out before she and Terence disappeared into the streets. Aya exhaled, watching her breath form mist in the winter air. "Well, back to training tomorrow." Alex smirked. "No more long shots." Aya groaned. "You're impossible." They shared a quiet laugh before finally heading their separate ways for the night. That night, Aya, Sakura, and Kenta sat together for dinner, the warm atmosphere filled with casual conversation and laughter. As Kenta set down his glass, he glanced at Aya. "Hey, is it true that Terence and Geneva are traveling for a while?" "Yeah," Aya said, sipping her juice. "They left that guy behind for a bit. They'll be back before the tournament. My guess? Geneva entered the tournament and wants to train away from me." "I got that feeling too," Kenta mused. "But what made you think that?" Aya smirked. "Alex. That guy's a total blabbermouth. He let it slip by accident and then tried to twist his words around. Either he forgot or didn't realize. I'm practically an attorney in training, you know? I catch these things." "I see," Kenta chuckled. "Well, you better be prepared. Geneva's a tough mountain to climb." Sakura, who had been quietly listening, suddenly spoke up. "Who's staying with that guy?" "Alex." Aya blinked. He's staying at his place alone for now." Sakura frowned. "Call him to stay here. Take care of him." Aya nearly choked on her drink. "Me? I'm busy." "Okay, then give me your schedule," Sakura said, already reaching for her phone. The room fell silent. Aya's jaw tightened. Even Kenta, who had been chewing, stopped mid-bite. Aya shifted uncomfortably. I'm busy, she blurted out. Sakura just stared at her, unimpressed. Kenta smirked. This should be interesting. The next day, Alex stood at the front door of the Konoe household, his bag slung over one shoulder while he carefully balanced a box of chocolates in his left hand. With his dominant right arm still recovering and supported in a sling, he shifted his weight slightly before pressing the doorbell with his left hand. A few moments later, the door opened, revealing Sakura with a warm smile. "Hello, Alex. I just spoke to your mom. I told her you'd be staying here for a while. Auntie, I brought you some chocolates." Alex handed the box over, adjusting his grip on his bag. "Thanks for letting me stay." Sakura's smile widened as she accepted the chocolates. "Good to know." She stepped aside to let him in before calling out, "Aya, come here and help Alex with his bags." A voice called back from somewhere in the house. "Mom, I'm busy." "Wait, what?" Alex chuckled as he and Sakura made their way to the living room. He placed his bag down, glancing around as they sat. After a short wait, Aya finally emerged, wearing basketball shorts and a loose white t-shirt, her hair tied up in a ponytail. She looked half awake, still stretching. Alex tilted his head slightly, amused by her relaxed appearance. Sakura, on the other hand, crossed her arms. "Is that really what you're wearing to greet a guest?" Aya frowned. "I told you, I'm busy." Sakura wasn't having it. Busy pretending to be busy, maybe. "Help Alex out." With a dramatic sigh, Aya walked over, muttering under her breath as she grabbed one of Alex's bags. Sakura glanced at her watch. "I'll be heading to the office. I have a few meetings today. Take care of him, okay?" Aya barely had time to protest before Sakura was already heading toward the door. Alex smirked. "Guess I'm your responsibility now." Aya rolled her eyes. Yeah. Come on, I'll show you your room." After helping him settle in, Aya returned to the living room, flopping onto the sofa and flicking through TV channels. She stretched out her legs, making herself comfortable. After a while, Alex walked in, arms crossed. "Aya, are you busy?" She glanced at him lazily. "I mean, obviously." Alex raised an eyebrow. "You're lying on the couch." Aya smirked. "So?" He sighed. "You're definitely free. Get ready, we're going out for lunch, and then we're practicing." Aya sat up. "Wait, what?" Fine. She stood up, stretching again before heading to her room to change. Aya drove toward the location Alex had picked, unaware that it was known as a romantic spot for couples. As they arrived, her expression shifted, only now realizing that Alex had booked them a table at an upscale fine dining restaurant. "Alex, this place looks expensive," Aya muttered, hesitating as she took in the elegant exterior. "I wanted to eat here with you, Aya." Alex's voice was soft but firm. "You don't want to?" His expression was laced with concern. Aya glanced at him and sighed, offering a faint smile. "It's not that I don't want to. It's just," she hesitated, rubbing the back of her neck. "You know I live a pretty modest life, right? Same as before." Alex shook his head with a chuckle. "I know that, Aya. You've always been that way, even when you had money. I learned that from you." His gaze softened as he stepped closer. "But this time? Let me do this for you, okay? Just this once. I want to share this with you." Aya stared at him for a moment before finally giving in. "Well, when you put it like that, how can I say no?" She shook her head, smiling as she followed him inside. The restaurant's warm ambience surrounded them, dim lighting, soft instrumental music, and the rich aroma of grilled steak filling the air. They were seated at a cozy booth by the window, where a waiter quickly arrived with menus. As their meal arrived, Aya cut into her steak and took a bite. Her eyes widened slightly. "This is amazing," she admitted, savoring the flavor. Alex grinned. "Do you like it?" "I love it. First time eating here. It's actually pretty fascinating," Aya said, taking another bite. They continued their meal, enjoying the warm atmosphere. The conversation flowed easily, blending fond memories with light teasing. As they finished, Aya leaned back in her seat, stretching her arms. All right, I'll admit it. You've got good taste, Shelly. Alex smirked. Told you so. Now that I've treated you, time to return the favor. Let's get back to training. Aya groaned but grinned, shaking her head as they made their way back to the taproom, ready to sharpen her skills for the tournament. As Aya and Alex stepped out of the private room, the taproom was still buzzing with energy, players lining up shots, drinks clinking, and laughter filling the air. The night was alive, and even though they had finished training, the atmosphere made it hard to wind down. A familiar voice called out. Hi, Aya. How are you? Aya blinked, momentarily surprised, before turning to see one of the regulars approaching her. Oh. I'm doing good, sir. Thanks for asking, she replied with a polite nod. Then, spotting Rebecca nearby, she turned to her. Uncle Kenta left? Rebecca nodded. Yeah, he did. Looked like he had somewhere to go with your mom. She raised an eyebrow. They didn't tell you? Aya tilted her head, glancing at Alex, who simply shook his head. No, nobody told me anything. She frowned slightly. Do you know where they went? Rebecca shrugged. Didn't say. Just that they had plans. Aya sighed, looking briefly puzzled, but decided to let it go for now. As they turned to leave, Alex's eyes flickered toward the regular, who had returned to his game. He hesitated for a moment before asking, Are you into him now? Aya's head snapped toward Alex so fast, it was a miracle she didn't get whiplash. Wait, what? She blurted, raising her hands defensively. I was just watching his game. Alex's lips curled into a small, knowing smirk. As you said. Aya's face scrunched in frustration. Ugh. You're impossible. Alex only chuckled as the two finally headed out, making their way back to their place. As they reached the gate of Aya's house, she glanced outside. The streets were still dark and quiet. Perfect. Looks like Mom's still out, Aya muttered, scanning the area before parking the car. Looks like it, Alex agreed. They entered the house, switching on the lights. Without saying much, they both collapsed onto the couch, exhausted. The silence stretched between them, until they slowly glanced at each other, and for some reason, both burst into quiet laughter. What do you want to eat? Aya finally asked, still chuckling. Anything. What were you planning to order? Alex responded. Aya shook her head. I'm not ordering takeout. Let's go with a home-cooked meal. Want curry? Or beef sukiyaki with rice? Alex grinned. Sukiyaki. Let's have a good meal. As Aya headed into the kitchen, Alex plopped onto the couch and flipped through TV channels. He settled on a comedy show, letting the background laughter fill the room. After a while, curiosity got the best of him, and he wandered into the kitchen, leaning against the counter. Need a hand? Aya smirked. Nope. You're my guest, big guy. Just sit back and relax. Alex raised his hands in surrender. If you insist. Aya began slicing vegetables and mushrooms with practiced ease, placing the beef into their meat cutter. The smell of simmering broth soon filled the kitchen. Eventually, they both sat down at the dining table, the rich aroma of sukiyaki and crispy Korean-style leek pancakes surrounding them. Alex took a bite and let out a satisfied sigh. This is great. Aya smiled. Glad you like it. It's my first time cooking for you, after all. As they finished their meal, Aya pulled out her phone and called her mom. Mom, it's already getting late. I heard you're with Master. Are you coming home tonight? No, Aya, Sakura answered. The snowfall's too heavy here. We're stuck in town and staying at a hotel for the night. Oh, okay. I've taken care of the guest. I already fed him, Aya replied casually. Good, good. Take care of each other. Then Sakura's tone suddenly changed, a little too playful. Oh, and Aya. Aya's instinct screamed danger. If you try your luck, make sure to give me a grandchild. Silence. Then. What? Aya shouted, but it was too late. Her mother had already hung up. Aya froze, face burning red, gripping her phone like it had just betrayed her. That's too much, Mom, she muttered under her breath. Unfortunately, fate wasn't on her side. Right at that moment, Alex walked into the room. What happened? Aya snapped her head toward him, her face still red. Alex blinked at her reaction, and for some unknown reason, he suddenly felt heat rise to his own cheeks. They stared at each other, Aya flustered, Alex confused, until he cleared his throat. Did I miss something? If you've made it this far in the video, we'd like to thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and follow us, and if you're on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe for more content.